This is a crazy camp spot, y'all. We are right alongside this raging river, and it's raining out. We're nestled deep in the forest. This is definitely a vibe. Crazy. Wow. Now there's supposed to be a really epic waterfall right here in the area. So after I eat some lunch real quick, we'll throw on some rain gear and see if we could go find the waterfall. I really love spots like this where you pull up and you park at your camp spot and there's stuff to do within walking distance straight from your camp spot. That way you don't have to worry about making it back to the truck in time to move before dark and finding a spot. You just park once and you're good for the rest of the day. That is the ideal type of spot in my opinion. For lunch, I've got this pre-made deli sandwich from the grocery store. It's so nice and dry and warm in here in the cabin. It's kind of tempting to just call it a day and hang out and relax in here, but it's a little bit too early for that. We came here to this spot to go check out the waterfall, so that's what we're gonna do. Ready to brave the rain? Kaya's got her raincoat on. Now I just need to get my rain gear on and we'll go check out the falls. All right, we're all geared up. I got my raincoat on now, rain pants, boots. Rain pants are absolutely imperative in my opinion. Without them, your legs just get completely soaked. Jeans, when they soak through, they take forever to dry too, which is really annoying. But anyways, let's go find this waterfall. Still can't believe what an incredible camping spot we have today. I don't know if I've ever camped next to a giant roaring river like that. Well, I have, but not this close. This, I could literally go out onto my back porch and I could dive into the river if I wanted. Not that I'm gonna do that. Does not look very swimmable. This is unfreaking real. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, it just gets better and better. Look at the falls behind me now. Now we got a good view. Man, rivers like this are so cool. It's just a sheer, powerful force that's unforgiving, and it's really a reminder of just how much power there is in nature. Unfortunately, it looks like this is the end of the path. I really don't see a good way forward that's not full-on bushwhacking, which I'd rather not do. I'm really relying on Kaya being intelligent enough to not jump into the roaring water. I don't think she would, but that would not be good. I've really been amping up my training lately with more hikes, more runs, and more trail runs. I've got some pretty big goals as we head into the new year, so I'll really be pushing myself to achieve new physical feats. Fortunately, with the help of today's sponsor, DreamShot, available through the feed, one vastly important component to training, which is recovery, just got a whole lot easier. Now, sleep is the #1 recovery tool, and DreamShot helps me to recover through more restorative sleep. It's been recorded to improve users' sleep by 70%. It's the world's first sleep peptide, and it's also completely melatonin free. Not only is DreamShot highly effective at aiding recovery, but it also just tastes great, and it comes in this really convenient 2-ounce shot, which makes it really easy to pack on my trips with me. DreamShot is part of my nightly routine because it helps me sleep like a champion and wake up ready to go crush some miles or whatever else I happen to be training that day. If you're interested in learning more about DreamShot or maybe even purchasing some for yourself, go ahead and click on the link in the description box down below, or you could scan the QR code that's somewhere here on the screen as well. Thank you so much to DreamShot for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, let's get back to it. Unfortunately, it looks like moisture has found its way into my lens, which I'm sure you notice that there's something up with the image. And I'm hoping that as the camera sits inside here in the warm, dry camper, I'm hoping all of that fog or whatever haziness is going on kind of just goes away. Because that would be a huge, huge bummer if the lens is damaged now. But you know what they say, you play with fire and eventually you're gonna get burned. Or in this case, you play with water and eventually you're gonna drown. Anyways, it is amazing in here. The diesel heater has been running that whole time we were out trekking. So we came in here, threw all the wet gear off, and it's nice and dry and warm in here. Kaya's already chilling, sleeping basically. And it's times like this, days like this, where I'm so grateful to have a nice roof over my head, especially one as cozy as this little cabin on wheels. The rain has not let up at all. Not a single break since we've gotten here today. It's pretty much been going nonstop for the last 48 hours. We're currently experiencing what's called an atmospheric river. A freaking river in the sky, essentially, because there's just so much rain coming down. And there's a bunch of areas that are actually on flood watch. This area is not one of them, fortunately. But that just goes to show how much rain has been coming down in the current storm that we're in. Anyways, I'm starting to get pretty hungry, so I think it's time to whip up some dinner. The other day I had a really random craving for some orange chicken, and I did not fulfill that craving. I didn't end up going to Panda Express, so tonight for dinner, that's what I'll be cooking, some orange chicken. And to go with that, I'll also be making a really simple fried rice. I'm gonna start by chopping up the veggies that I'll need. Since I don't have a sink in here, I try to cut any meat last. That way I don't have to wash the cutting board and the knife in between chopping up the different components. So we got a couple green onions here. All right, next I'll prep the chicken. This is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Cut these into cube pieces. Next, we'll make the sauce. Into the sauce, I'm gonna do about a cup of orange juice, a couple tablespoons of rice vinegar. This is brown sugar. A little bit of ground ginger, cornstarch, last but not least, some red chili flakes. I'm just gonna pour this hot frying oil into this pot, and I'll set that aside, and I'll deal with disposing that later on when it's all cooled off. Oh yeah, that smells freaking amazing. I'm just gonna go ahead and set that off to the side while we quickly make the fried rice. Gonna start off by whipping up my eggs. Now I'm gonna add in the green onion that I chopped up earlier, just the white part, and some garlic. And in goes the rice. This is rice that I cooked a few days ago. Leftover rice from the fridge is probably the best way to cook fried rice at home. Oh boy, this looks like some legit orange chicken. Let's give this a shot. That's just as good, if not a little bit better than Panda. I think we hit the nail on the head with that one, guys. That tastes pretty much exactly like Panda Express. Not gonna lie to you guys, it's pretty cool right now to be eating a fresh cooked Panda Express meal while right alongside this beautiful roaring river in the middle of the freaking forest, the middle of nowhere. Fun fact, I actually used to work at a Chinese restaurant a long time ago. I was a waiter, a bartender, busboy, food runner, I did it all. But anyways, we had a dish called honey glazed chicken with orange zest. But it was just straight up orange chicken with a fancy name. Now for those who are wondering what I'll do with the frying oil, now that it's all cooled off, I'm just gonna pour it into this Ziploc bag, and I'll just throw that away. If you had the bottle that the oil came in, of course you could just pour it back into that, but there's still a lot of clean oil in the bottle that this came from, so into the trash it goes. And since I'll only be camping for one night, I'm just gonna take all my dirty dishes back home and wash them there, so I don't have to deal with washing them out in the rain right now. So later this week, we're supposed to be hitting the road. Still got quite a few things to get done before we could head out of here. But if all goes according to plan, within the next week, we'll be leaving for a longer road trip. Been doing a lot of these short one-night trips, and I've just been craving something longer. So the pieces are finally gonna line up, fingers crossed. Alright, Kaya, it's time to scoot over. come on. Scoot over. Come on. You don't need to take up the whole bed, dog. Oh, man. Look at this dog. She's not moving. She's not moving. Kaya, you gotta scoot over. Come on. Alright, well, it's time to hit the hay. I'll see you guys in the morning. Gotta go turn off this light. And also gotta turn off the camera light. Good night. We've been inside the cabin for the last, I think, about 16 hours. So as you can imagine, Kaya needs to release some energy. So do I. 16 hours is a long time, but that's what happens in the winter time, especially when it's just raining nonstop. Right now it's kind of drizzling a little bit. It's not too bad, but it still hasn't completely stopped, which is pretty crazy. We're going on like 72 hours now of straight rain. I was kind of wondering if being right next to a roaring river that's just this loud for 18 hours straight would start to get annoying or bothersome, but somehow it doesn't at all. It's almost meditative, even though it's this loud. I feel like if there were traffic noises or something else that was this loud for 18 hours, it would get really annoying. But I guess as humans, we have an internal peace with nature, even when that nature happens to be volume all the way up.